Renard.
First of all, what's up, my people? Welcome to the Sn95 Power Channel. I'm going to pose a silly question right here, and I want some honest answers from you guys. Whether you experienced it or not, give me your honest opinion on this, because at the end of this video, I'm going to share your mind. How much horsepower is enough horsepower for you? And you've heard me bring up this topic before. Like, we live in a day and age where it seems like people think you gotta have a 1,000 horsepower car to have a justified street car. Now, some people have 4-digit cars because they're about that racing life. Some people have 4-digit cars just for clout. To me, it doesn't matter. You gotta excuse me, I'm kind of yelling and my throat is dry. But to me, it doesn't matter if you 4 digits or 300 river horsepower. As long as you built it, or even if you bought it, as long as you're doing what you want to do with your build, that's all that matters. But I think right now in the car culture, you're almost shunned or looked down upon if your car doesn't have 700-800 river horsepower. The Sn95 platform. Like, some of these newer platforms, car gets heavier, and you know, you have power to weight ratio you have to think about. But for these low 3,000 pound cars, personally, I think 450 is a sweet spot. Now, depending on how your car is set up, how low into the 3,000 pounds your car Sn95 is, suspension, tires, all that plays a factor. But you know, you quite possibly could get into the 10-second range with a 450 rear horsepower-ish car. Hell, Mustang Lifestyle did that with his turbo 2-valve. What's fast to me might be slow to somebody else, and vice versa. What's fast to somebody else could be slow to me. So I'm not knocking anybody, or I'm not going to horsepower shame anybody. You know, if you're happy with your 280 river horsepower new edge, hey man, more power to you. As long as you're having fun in the car. But for these, you know, horsepower dictators out here who love to shun people and talk bad about people, like, oh man, your car only got 500 rear horsepower, or whatever the case may be. Like, man, stop all that nonsense. Like, respect people builds. They're not building their car to satisfy you or anybody else on the internet. Now, you do have people who are like that, don't get me wrong. But I'm pretty sure the majority of people who build their cars, they're building them to their satisfaction. So let's stop all the dictators out there from trying to decree you got to have X amount of horsepower in order to have a special car or a respectable car. It's just not that serious. Because in reality, you can have your 1,000 horsepower car and still get gapped by somebody. Yeah, there's always the bad. Somebody's always the baddest out there, but most likely it's not you. So just stop it. And yes, there's plenty of people faster than me, and honestly, I really don't care. Short video. I think my wideband is dying on me. Because right now I'm not saying anything on this air fuel ratio monitor, and I really don't want to beat up on it without any kind of feedback. But yeah, it really annoys me. You see this a lot on the Facebook groups too. A lot of people, you know, bashing somebody. I think the latest thing that really irked me was somebody just took a photo of somebody. It was a silver New Edge with some drag radios on it. He was sitting in traffic. He was out there enjoying his car, and it was kind of like the caption was, "Is this guy all show and no go?" And then, man, the comments on there were quite funny, but the theme, I don't know, it was kind of mixed, because some people were just like, you know, F around and find out. Some people was like, it's his bill, who cares what you think? But then, you know, you had a lot of people talking about it might only be a 300 horsepower New Edge or something like that. It looks tough. Like, who cares? So personally, I think 450-ish, you know, between that 450, 500 rear horsepower is perfect on these Sn95 platforms. Whether it's a push rod, a mod motor, stock block, you can throw an on-3 turbo kit on that, and you can achieve that number quite easily. That's the magical thing about boosting turbos. You know, you make power with these turbos, you don't have any parasitic loss. So you get all the benefits, and really only have to do, if you want more power, if your setup can handle it, you just turn up the boost. Like right now, this car has about 9 pounds. Last time I dined on this at 8 pounds. There's an older setup, like the first version of this car. It made 420 horsepower. So I figured right now, do is put 15 PSI on this car, and I'm right there. So I would say anybody that's trying to mod the Sn95, the way to do it is to go turbo. It just gives you so much headroom. You can put a manual boost control in here, put a 5-pound spring in here, and have your thing tuned for, you know, 350 horsepower if you're afraid about braking stuff. So don't knock on these guys with their builds if it's the 3.8. You know, hey man, this car started its life as a 3.8, so I'll never like bash the 3.8 guys. So what do y'all think the magic horsepower number is for you? And do you think I'm crazy just saying, you know, 4-digit horsepower numbers is overrated for the average guy? Because you have a lot of these people out here who have like some ridiculous horsepower numbers and they don't put it to use. It's just for clout. Like I want to be in a situation where if I have the power, I'm going to use it. That's the sweet thing about how this car is set up right now. With this 8-pound, 9-pound spring, I know I can smash this gas pedal through the floor. It's going to hook and it's going to book. And what your setup is. Even if you don't have a big horsepower car, I would love to know your numbers and your setup. And honestly, I'm not real big on numbers. I'm more concerned about track times than